Hello, I'm Coach John Shepherd, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Olympic Trials women's long jump, where one of the athletes I work with, Jahisha Thomas, was competing. We'll take a look at some of the jumpers in action, and hopefully you'll be able to pick up some technique tips and ideas that will help your own jumping. Women's long jump is one of the most loaded of all events in the UK, with 3 to 5 elite level female athletes, so it was going to be a potentially great competition. Jahisha's season's best was 6 meters 57, therefore she was quite capable of upsetting the established leading jumpers in the UK. Becca Chapman opened with 5 meters 85. But, as you can see, she was well behind the board on that first effort. Next up was Doha representative Abigail Irazuru, who opened with 6 meters 54. Lorraine Ugan fouled her first attempt and used a unusual for women 2.5 stride hitch kick. Males can have difficulty completing the 2 cycles required of a 2.5 hitch kick, so it was interesting to see how Lorraine managed this. Next up was Jahisha, and unfortunately she didn't hit the board and jumped 5 meters 76. You can see she was a long way behind the board. In her previous run-throughs prior to the competition, they looked really good, so perhaps some tension had built into the running that affected her stride length and the inaccuracy that resulted. In round 2, Abigail leapt 6 meters 66.
But they never have to when they do an English. Alright.
Jahisha got onto the board with her second round jump, but unfortunately it was a minimal foul, although the jump did suffer from quite a lot of forward rotation. Although we've been working on the arm action, it still didn't function properly, and that's what's preventing some control on the rotation, at least to my mind. Lorraine fouled her second round jump. If you would like information on the free lap timing system, which is accurate to 2/1000ths of a second and is extremely portable and works via Bluetooth and your smart device, then do get in contact with me. Still suffering from run-up accuracy issues, Jahisha jumped 5 meters 94 into a 1.6 headwind. It looks like she lost between 30 and 40 centimeters on that particular effort. It's odd because in training the run-ups have been accurate. Here's our first look at 6 meter 50 jumper Alice Hopkins, who'd yet to register a distance. This achieved a distance of 6 meters 12. In round 4, Jahisha hit the board and went out to her longest jump of the day, 6 meters 38. However, again, there are flight problems that need to be addressed. In the heat of competition, timing can go awry, particularly if you've not done too many competitions previously, and this is something that I think Jahisha could have benefited from. Unfortunately, Becca Chapman fouled her 4th round attempt, but it did look particularly good. There was a good balanced takeoff into the hitch kick and then a good landing, with the hands being swept behind the hips to extend the legs out in front. Lorraine then jumped 6 meters 54. Next is our first look at Jasmine Sawyers, who'd jumped 6 meters 90 previously this year, and this was 6:46. Abigail then no jumped. As is often the case with fouls, it was a long effort. Alice Hopkins then went out to her best jump of the day, 6 meters 32. 5th round, Jahisha jumped 6 meters 26, and again she took off from behind the board. This was a much better balanced jump. There was more control off of the takeoff, and the takeoff drive put better balance onto the flight. In the 5th round, Lorraine produced her longest jump of the day with a wind-assisted 6 meters 60. In round 5, Jasmine really took the competition by the scruff of the neck and jumped 6 meters 75. In slow motion, it looks like the jump could have been even further as there was some forward rotation on the landing. Lucy Hadaway, who'd been jumping well all competition, produced her longest jump in round 5, 6 meters 47. No doubt, more pumped up, Abigail went out to her best jump of the day, 6 meters 69. Becca Chapman fouled her 5th round attempt, which, like the previous ones, was also looking pretty long. In round 6, Lorraine jumped 6 meters 57. Seemingly even more fired up, Jasmine came down the run-up and got a great board and went out to her longest jump of the day, which was 6 meters 75. Lucy Hadaway backed up her 6:47 with a 6:45 in the final round. With her final effort, Abigail managed 6:43, so Jasmine was first, Lorraine was third, and Abigail got the silver. All three were subsequently selected for Team GB for the Tokyo Olympics. Hopefully this brief overview of the British Olympic trials for women's long jump has shown you some of the techniques and some of the ways that you may improve your jumping or things that you could work on. If you have any questions on the content of this particular video or any others, then do drop me a line and leave any questions or comments in the section below. To find out more about Coach Athlete member videos, do click on the Join button on the channel's home page. Again, this is something that I've mentioned in previous Coach Athlete videos, and we're talking here about tonus. Now, tonus is how an athlete's muscle tone responds to a training stimulus. If you're using traditional periodization with a high emphasis or a strong emphasis on weight training, the athlete's muscle tone will change if you go into a big deloading phase and maybe cut back significantly on weight training. I know that some athletes like to feel a certain muscle tone in a competitive phase or going into a competition. For example, Ivana Spanovic, whose coach Goran Obradovic explained this in detail at a European Jumps and Sprints Symposium a few years back. So, trying to simplify this and bring it home to a level that we coaches working at club level will understand. You've got to see if your athlete likes to feel strong, basically, putting it more simply. If you cut back on the weight, they might start to produce a different type of muscle tone, and they may not feel quite as powerful or as strong because of this.